I am QS Raidon Wekesa, a registered quantity surveyor by the Board of Registration of Architects and Quantity Surveyors of Kenya. Today, we are here at Safari Park Hotel for our CPD training, Continuous Professional Development. And the theme for this year's CPD is empowering the built environment professionals through artificial intelligence. The built environment professionals in this case are architects and quantity surveyors, because you are the only members of BORAX as it stands, our regulator. And now we are trying to empower each other using artificial intelligence. Many presenters have spoken about integrating AI when we are creating our documents, that is designs for the architects or drafts, and bills of quantities, valuations, final accounts, and what have you for the quantity surveyors. But now, essentially, when you look at it, it covers one aspect of our professional. It covers the tools of trade. How about now the remuneration of the architect? Because the architect needs to be well remunerated to afford the artificial intelligence. Many presenters, many creators have shown different AI tools available to architects and quantity surveyors. However, none of them is free. They need subscriptions. And if an architect has to cope with such costs, it means that they have to be remunerated their full fees, because it's already prescribed and there shouldn't be any discussion as to why they should not get the full fees. What exists in the market today is many clients want to negotiate. They want to negotiate so that they end up saving on the professional fees. When you find one client is maybe a banker, they are paid according to their scales. All bankers will be paid according to their scales. If a client was, for example, a doctor, they'll get paid according to their scales. No patient negotiates. But when such people want to do a construction project, they'll want to negotiate the fee with an architect or a quantity surveyor, which now puts an architect and a quantity surveyor at a very difficult financial position. And now, in according to today's theme of empowering the built environment professional using AI, I'm proposing a way in which we can enhance our project registration portal that is on BORAX to ensure that we enforce the payment of professional fees, number one, and number two, we help counties to collect what's rightfully theirs. Because as we stand today, the counties are losing a lot of revenue through unscrupulous means. A few players, unscrupulous players, are colluding with some rogue architects to go to the counties and submit what is less than the real height of the buildings they are designing. So, for example, a developer wants to do 26 floors, but now they go to the county, instruct the architect to submit only 6 floors so they can pay the rate for only 6 floors, because counties charge per square meter. So how many square meters are 6 floors total? Then the client pays. Once they pay, they proceed now to go and design out of 26 floors. The counties end up losing revenue for 20 floors. And it's happening, and the counties are suffering. And today, if we are going now to use now the project registration portal on BORAX, actually the tab, because when you log in, you go under your account, then there are particulars there for the project tab. Once you use that one, we are going to arrange the situation as follows. Number one, once the architect registers a project, it cannot be registered by another architect. It will be similar to registering a Gmail account, for which Google will tell you the Gmail already exists. And in the event that the architect has already been engaged by the client, who then resorts to engage another architect, and that particular architect again tries to register the project on the portal, it will be declined. And if the client really wants now to change the architect, they'll have to follow what is in the CAP 525. Where we are going to start is, since we already have the CAP 525, our laws that guide us in how we do our roles, we are now going to code the CAP 525 and store it on blockchain, probably Ethereum. So it becomes a smart contract. And by definition, you all know that a smart contract is a self-executing program on blockchain that enforces obligations whenever preset conditions are met. And all obligations are in Cap 525, and conditions are the deliverables. Once the consultant delivers, then they have made the obligations, the smart contract enforces. In example, this is how it's going to work. An architect, we shall start with the initialization of the project will be, the client will log into their interface, give descriptions of what they want, then fill the project particulars, including their own particulars. Then their interface will be integrated with the drop-down menu for all consultants. So the client will, from the drop-down, they'll select the architect they want to engage, accept any terms, and click submit. Once they do that, the selected consultant will receive a notification and they will also log in and accept now the client instructions. Then proceed to order the documents as per the client instructions. Once they are done with creating the documents, they will upload now to their consultant portal. Once they upload the consultant portal, they are done. The system itself, the AI, will create an invoice for the services rendered by the consultant, and that invoice will be channeled to the client. And in creating the invoice, the AI will block the register access, the consultant register access to the primary bodies issuing building approvals in Kenya. That is National Construction Authority, NCA, National Environmental Management Authority, NEMA, county governments, banks for the purposes of taking loans, or mortgage agents. They will not be able to access the register of the consultant and now the documents that are in the project registration tab until the invoice has been paid. Once the client pays the invoice, phase 1 of project approval unlocks, because it will be in 2 phases. We'll have phase 1 and phase 2. The phase 1 is after the client pays the invoice. The approval process now goes to phase 2. Phase 2 is where now the client is supposed now to allocate now the budget to the project. And part of the budget they are going to allocate is the fee that they are supposed to pay the consultants during construction period. They'll allocate that fee to the escrow. Once the escrow confirms that the fee has been allocated, then it will unlock the register for approval now. And the reason for that is because many developers in this country, once they get the building approvals, they no longer want to see professionals on the site. So they go engaging quacks, foremen, fundis, and what have you, to go and perform projects that are supposed to be done by the professional, so that it only appears like the professionals lend their credentials. When now things get tough on the ground, the person who pays the brand is now the professional. That's what we are trying to eradicate. The client must allocate the budget for the remaining fee in the escrow account before they get the building approval, so that after approval, the developer is still tied to the project and his payment is guaranteed. All that the professional needs to do during construction is to go and perform their professional duties, create any documents they will create, be they payment certificates or valuations, then upload to their interface, the professional interface, which will now be seen by the client on their side. Once the client confirms that this document has been authored as of today or wherever, it satisfies the consultant came to do on the site, then the escrow, which has now allocated money, the fee that was supposed to be paid during construction, will be activated, and it will now release the money based on the document that the consultant will have uploaded. It will go on so forth until the consultant uploads the final document. For an architect, they can be uploaded as build drawings in their portal, which will be confirmed by the client from their interface, and the escrow will release the money to the consultant. Same to the QS. When they will be uploading the evaluations, clients will be confirming, the escrow will be releasing money to the QS. Finally, final accounts, the escrow will be activated, the money will be released to the consultant. Now that keeps the consultant and the client together throughout the project until from the start to the finish. And what are the advantages? The advantages is we are going to sort almost all problems that Borax has been enduring ever since it was founded in 1934. Because for the last 91 years of existence of Borax, quacks have been plying our trade. You find someone who has never been in the construction industry, because they know the client, they want to purport like they know how to draw. They'll proceed to do what they are supposed to do, and proceed with the approval and go to the site and construct. Some clients who have risked such have ended up losing their buildings. Buildings have collapsed, and others now end up paying the ultimate price of losing their all investment because of shortcuts. And this is what we are trying to eradicate. We want professionals tied to the project from documentation up to the completion of construction. That's the number one advantage. Number two advantage is we are looking at a scenario whereby professionals are going to collect their full fees before before projects proceed for approval. All invoices pertaining the pre-contract documentation will be paid fully, but the only amount that will be paid later during construction is what will be allocated in the escrow prior to approval. So it ensures that the consultant is assured of their payments both during documentation and during construction. And now this will bring now a healthy environment whereby consultants will practice what they went to school to do. Because many consultants have been reduced to documentation only, but constructions, it has been taken over by the quacks. So this is going to eradicate that. Anyone who wants to learn construction now will be working under direct supervision of an architect or a QS or an engineer. The third advantage is clients will get a variety of designs. There are some quacks or even consultants who bargain very low amount to win a client. And there are some clients who belong in communities and they give each other referral to such because they say they are cheap. The problem with such arrangement is the clients end up getting the same design because now the architect loses creativity because of the many kind of jobs that they are getting. So they end up just copy pasting. So the client ends up not getting value for their money at the end of the day. But in this new dispensation, the client will know that the fee is constant, regardless of the architect they choose. So they will endeavor to look for the most creative architects so that a neighborhood will be competing in terms of design and creativity. And that's the kind of landscape that we need right now in this country. We do not want things to go the way they are going. We want to see the built environment churning out buildings that are creatively done by ensuring that almost all architects are engaged in all scopes. I am calling upon all consultants to start right now using the portal so that we get feedback of how it's performing as we continue to advance it with the AI tools, because ultimately it ought to be compulsory for us to get to where we are going. So I'm calling all consultants in the build industry to be in support of this idea. I heard many people asking that, where has this thing been done and succeeded? Where has this technology been done and succeeded? And this is what we are going to do. We are going to instruct Solidity to do exactly what is in CAP 525. But the only modification we are going to do is to ensure that the client allocates the fee balance that they are supposed to pay during construction period to the escrow prior to approval as a guarantee that professionals will be on the site. And that money is what will be paid to the professionals as they do their subsequent work. My takeaway from the theme, today's theme of empowering the built environment professionals through artificial intelligence is we are headed in the right track. You can remember, right now we are talking about empowering professionals using AI. And so much has been said. And so much is going to be done. Also, the government's theme, the government was trying to streamline a lot of things this year. So this thing has come timely, where the construction industry is embracing technology. The presenters from South Africa have shown us that they are actually ahead of us. The architects from Rwanda, they have shown us what they are doing with AI. And that's why we need to catch up. Actually, we should have done this thing in 2013 when the Nairobi City County for the first time adopted the online process of approval. So actually what we are doing today, we are playing catch up. And that's why I'm asking members not to play politics. Accept that we are behind schedule. We are at least 12 years behind schedule. And we need to implement the use of project registration tab as soon as yesterday for us to align and to help streamline the approval process. We want to create a single project repository using Borax, whereby NCA, counties, NEMA, banks, loan agents will be accessing the repository for approving purposes. Yes, so from their side, they'll be monitoring and they'll be giving accurate statistics to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. And they'll be arresting any issue on the ground as soon as possible. Should there be any conflict, it is still CAP 525, it will be resolved according to the CAP 525. The government needs to support the people coming up with driving the AI adoption agenda by ensuring adequate funding. And also, by doing so, it helps streamline its own processes, and it's easier to govern when things are streamlined and digitized. Where the world is headed, and it's unstoppable, is the adoption of technology, and specifically AI. Right now, blockchain is king, and anyone who's going to ride on blockchain to effect changes, technological changes in their practice, they are going to be ahead of time. And that's all we need. We need to be ahead of the future. We are headed in the future, but we need to be on the front line of the people who are headed in the future. And I think by doing that, we are going to position Kenya as a leader in the construction industry. Borax need a lot of funding also to enable other programs, to facilitate the education sector. Right now, people are demanding that, oh, we need more CPDs done elsewhere. We need CPDs done in Europe. We need CPDs done in Australia. We need CPDs done, but they are underfunded. So we have an acute shortage. But I think once we address the issue of the fees and streamlining the approvals, then we can demand such, because then we'll have a way of getting them, supporting them to achieve the agendas that we want.